All right, so let's talk about the gear that I use for the first team, which is going to be the goddess team. This will be used on the first tower, one that's going to be on the far left. Now, this is the gear that I use pretty much. You want to use like crit resist on your characters, and pretty much that's so you don't take any crits. I do have attack crit only on Mael because he really doesn't take that much damage, so I really don't worry about him too much. But everybody else is rocking like an HP crit resist set. One thing I do want to recommend is that I had the recovery rates also on Tarmiel on the far right side, and that's because I don't have the goddess artifact card set, which will give you base stats. So I just end up using this one, which is a regular one, which is basically me using all my highest HP artifact card set. But if you do have the goddess set, you probably don't have to do that extra stuff with the recovery rate on Tarmiel, unless maybe you have terrible box CC, most likely. That's just so he can heal a lot better with his heals. So that's just it. All right, so we are going to be using the goddess team on the first tower. Now again, I do not have the archangels set, so I do recommend, unless you are a high CC player in terms of box CC, to not try what I'm doing, because it might not work out for you, especially depending on your box CC. I recommend to be using that archangel set. Right now I'm just using the highest card sets that I have right now, and it worked pretty well for me. Again, with the goddess team, you really want people to target Red Tarmiel for the most part, and that's because with Red Tarmiel you'll get that base stat boost from his passive, and also because Red Tarmiel can heal a bunch, especially when you pair this alongside of L or Liz, because it increases your recovery rate even more. Again, this team is a little bit difficult to play against. You just want to try to nuke with Mael and also try to heal up with Liz. Again, dealing with blue Tarmiel, it'll be your biggest issue because he will try to take away your gauge a million times. And he seemed to always go for Mael when he has a lot of ult gauge. So you have to be very careful with that. Again, it's all about you trying to make the AI play for you. Like if you debuff him, then he's going to go for a cleanse most likely. And if you have your ultimate, he's going to go for a Red Tarmiel gauge control. So you always want to try to like play off of the AI, and that's why no one really cares about AI PvP like that, because it's very easy for you to play against it. It's just all about how you do it, right? So we got a pretty good HP. We can just stall all we want to, just because we do have a lot of HP right now. So I just attack with Tarmiel, and then Sariel build up his base stats. Again, I just was trying to do it so I can heal up with Liz, and Tarmiel just got a stance. So I'm gonna go for Liz heal, which I am 6'6", so it'll be a 30% attack related stat boost, and it one shots. Again, this one's just a little stally. You usually want to try to get your ultimate with Mael with anything before they get rid of you. Now this is one against Jelly King. Now Jelly King is super easy to play off against because he doesn't really do that much damage. The only thing you really got to worry about with this type of team is that you don't want them to keep their shield up, because then they get that 20% attack related stat boost, and that means that they will hit like a truck against you. I guess the only thing you already got to worry about is maybe Marilli infecting you, but for the most part Jelly King always goes for his debuff card, and then he uses his AoE afterwards. AI really doesn't infect as much as you think. As long as he has a debuff card from Jelly King, he'll use it. And I just get rid of Roxy right here. That's because I didn't feel like Jelly King is a threat. Even if he's spamming his AoE, it'd be very easy for me to like play off of that. And then he takes away my gauge. Again, I want to try to get rid of Merlin because she has the infect. So we just get rid of you. And now Merlin is gone. So now I don't have to worry about infect. Only thing I have to worry about is Lilia taking away my gauge and Jelly King just AoE spamming. But you can see it's not doing as much damage as it should. And Jelly King is super fragile as well too. So we just gonna get rid of Lilia just because I'm tired of her healing or taking away my gauge. And we're gonna leave Jelly King by himself because we do have Liz ult. So I can just end up cleansing and then just attacking afterwards. Again, this is 30% attack release stats because I am 6'6", so it's gonna one-shot regardless. See? Easy peasy. Again, like the first tower is really easy once you get the hang of it and stuff. I guess the only issue is sometimes you might get like bad RNG, but if you have the Archangel set, you shouldn't struggle as much as I do. Now this is the one where you get tier. That's why I use the crit resist set on all my characters, and that's because pretty much tier, you don't want tier to crit, right? Again, with the Goddess team, you're not really affected by tier lowering, so you don't have to worry about that. I did have a little bit of issue while running this team without using the Archangel set, and that is Freyr hitting like a truck. That's why I opted out on using the recovery roll on my bottom right piece, and just because so I can heal a lot better with Tarmiel. Also with Liz, heal as well will increase my recovery rate as well, so that was a good plus. As you saw me versus Freyr, I was getting like 100k heal every time he attacked me, which is really, really good. Again, Freyr is going to be the main issue with this team because Freyr just hits like a truck for some reason. And Nanashi. I guess you can say everybody hits like a truck when it comes against Tarbiel. Like you see, I'm getting lower and lower in terms of my HP. Again, it's just all about like your plays and stuff like that. As you just breaking down their base stat booster, I'm about to reset. Now the reason why I reset was because I was debating if I should go after Nanashi, which I do. That's because I want to get rid of their base stat booster being Nanashi. Usually on this team, you want to try to get rid of Nanashi as much as possible because then that's a huge chunk. Like look at it, he's not really doing as much damage as he was before. And I'm being able to tank all that pretty easily. Again, it was a little bit of a close call for the most part, but that is going to happen if you're not using the Archangel set. And that's why I said, like, if you don't have the best box CC, I really don't recommend you trying out this team unless you have good box CC. I reset it again just because I wanted to see if I could get rid of Freyr and a kid at the same time, but it seemed like it wasn't happening, so I just left it at that. And he should miss the crit. Okay, so now we got to go for Freyr this time. I ended up having to reset a lot for this if you haven't noticed. And that's because I don't know my true damage with this team. Because again, you want the Archangel set because it gives you a lot more base stats. I just opted out to healing right here with Liz. Because I'm not really worried about tier ultimate. That's why I said, like, with my team, you really don't want to try to make these plays like I was doing, because you just don't know how much HP you might have, so it might not be the best option for you. So I just heal up with Liz. I'm just trying to make sure I get to like full HP for every run for the most part, because I want to make sure like every time I go into the next one I have at least full HP. So we're gonna go against Ragnarok. Usually you want to try to get rid of either Deanne or what's her name, Freya. She's really good. I think this is the one that doesn't have Red Tarmiel link on it. I wasn't really paying attention, but you'll probably notice I'm probably gonna look and check in this match. Again, the main person I want to try to get rid of is going to be Deanne. Freya is okay. And he's going after my Sariel a lot. So I think I opted to pretty much healing with Sariel with an AoE. I think I might have spammed my AoE or just go for a regular attack. I might have just spammed my AoE just to boost my base stats even further. And then I just go for Deanne. So he lost out on a lot of damage and that damage cap as well. So we should be able to one-shot his characters. And again, the other person I want to try to go for is going to be Freya, because Freya does hit hard. She does hit pretty hard on his team, but we can also get rid of Brunhild as well. Again, it doesn't matter who you choose, Brunhild or Freya. Just because, again, once they start losing most of their Ragnarok characters, their damage fall off pretty heavily. So right here, I just ult, get rid of you, and then we just attack. And whoever gets targeted, I'm just gonna go for their ultimate, just so they can heal up a little bit. So we ult with Tarmiel, so he can full heal. Again, it's pretty simple. Once you get through tier, everything else is really, really easy. I think tier is the hardest one for this team. Everything else is pretty simple. Like, we got this Catastrophe Aaron team. I guess the Catastrophe Aaron team is just meant for nuking rid characters that you might see in Guild Wars. That's the only reason why I can think of somebody would willingly want to use Aaron. Now, you saw Sario was gone right there. Sario was meant to be dead. It doesn't really benefit. It's not gonna hurt you if Sario is gone, because Mayo is just that good. Mayo will just blast anything in sight. So even if they did all that, it should be okay, because then Aaron's about to start attacking, which, you know, Aaron, he pretty much sucks. So you saw Aaron, he missing crits and stuff. So that's my Aaron. So he's gonna get rid of Roxy, who is literally his best character. That's my Aaron. Trash and trash. And now we have Maya Ultimate, which means that's pretty much GG. And this was the Goddess team. As you can see, it's pretty easy. Again, I do recommend, for the 50th time, recommend the Archangel set. Don't do what I did, where I'm using the max card sets. Go for the Archangels. If you don't, you're gonna struggle. Just saying. All right, so for the second team, on the second tower, you'll be using the Shaltir team. Now, this team for Unknown has been actually really, really strong and powerful, making it so you don't really need as heavy built Unknown characters like Albedo and Shaltir. I've been seeing people use literally like SA2 Shaltir and just clapping the second tower. That's because Albedo and Shaltir are two destructive combination. You have Albedo with her counters, which pretty much can one-shot to enemies. And then you also have Shaltir, who can pretty much heal you if you do have her Holy Relic. Because, you know, if she does big damage on a bleed enemy, she will heal everybody up by 30% of the damage dealt, which is actually really, really clutch. And then we also have Nanashi and Freyr, who are both giving us basic stats. Again, you do need Freyr Holy Relic, so keep that in mind. Freyr has crit defense rather than other people having the crit resist. And I don't know why, but every time I face a tier team, I feel like Freyr always get hit with a crit, regardless if I'm using crit resist or not. So I just gave him crit defense just because of that. If you want to use crit resist, go ahead. But for me, I always felt like Freyr always get hit with crits. And also using this artifact card set for Unknown. It's all the lizards and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys enjoy, and let's get into it. All right, so this is one of the wackiest one, and that is because we are using Shaltir and Albedo Unknown team. And honestly, I would say this was the most smooth of a team I ever ran in Hero Arena ever, was this Shaltir team. Now, Shaltir is going to be the main source of your team because she has the ability to pretty much heal when she does damage on a bleed enemy. And if you don't know, she does get that berserk effect, which could be very clutch in some moments because, again, she pretty much is Purgatory Meliodas in disguise. All right, so this gives her so many opportunities to heal up your team. You also have Albedo, which we already know Albedo is super, super broken, where she's just gonna pretty much just one-shot you every single time. So you really have a really solid team in being Albedo plus Shaltir. Honestly, I don't know what I can recommend other than this type of team. I guess you can use the human Eskener team to try that out. I think it's like full mono green. I'm probably gonna showcase it later on in the video. But this Shaltir team is super good on the second tower. It's just so clean. Again, I guess the only things that is a problem with Shaltir is that you don't end up getting her bleed card, or she ends up doing too much damage. I know it sounds crazy. She ends up doing too much damage for your team, and she can end up just costing you the match for the most part because you end up not full healing. Albedo the same way. Like you pull up Albedo counter, you can see she's just one-shotting characters left and right. That is very dangerous because you don't know when the next time you'll be able to heal. So you always want to try to just do it when you know for sure you're gonna heal up your character. Now I should have probably waited a little bit. That attack card, I should have probably just had Albedo nuke Deanne so he doesn't have the damage cap, and then Shoutier goes for Freya because then he won't have the damage cap, and I'll do a lot more damage with my single target. But it's okay because we're going against Jelly King, which is super easy. Now I think Jelly King is the one that's gonna give you the most trouble, honestly, and that's because it's just that there's some moments if you use Albedo counter, she just starts one-shotting. And by one-shot, that means she's going to crit. And again, the freaking Jelly King team, it starts out with an infect. So it's very hard for you to heal afterwards. So you want to be very careful that Albedo does not crit with her counter. Because if she crits, she one-shotting characters. You want to do basically no crits. So they can be at low HP, as you can see right here. And then you can just heal up afterwards with Shoutier. You just did so much damage. Look at that, 840k. That's gonna be a 300k heal for my whole team. So we just full healed right there. That's why Shoutier is just gonna be so good. Again, the only thing I have problem with Shoutier sometimes is that she doesn't give you her cards. So when you have the bleed up and then you don't pull her card again, it really sucks. Now this one, Tyr hits you like a truck. But again, I have Freyr with crit defense, and that's because I always get hit with a crit by Freyr. So I just want to try to heal up with Shoutier, and then hopefully pull another Shoutier card, which we do. We pull 2 of them, so that's a guaranteed nuke on 2 characters. And you can see Albedo, it just pretty much hit him with counters, which is again really good for us, because then boom, one-shot you, and then there goes the bleed. So now we're about to come in with a full HP character, because we got so much bleed and berserk. Yep, one shot, 1 million, full heal, and another full heal. I'm telling you, man, Shoutier plus Albedo unknown team can be clutch. Now, again, I do recommend if you are a person who want to deal with RNG to rock crit resist on Freyr. I use crit defense because, again, I have like decent box CC, so I could take the crit. But so some people, you want to use Freyr with crit resist rolls, and you want to hope that Tyr misses the crit on Freyr. Again, the problem with me, why I didn't try to do that, because Freyr was never missing the crits. So I'll always end up losing the match because he just never missed. Like the crit never missed, so he always got hit, and he took way more damage. So that's why I opted out to crit defense, because if you're going to take the crit no matter what, I might as well just give you crit defense so you can at least tank it. Because before, when I gave him crit resist and he got hit with the crit, he wasn't tanking it. Alright, so again, this is going to be the last one. Albedo with a counter is going to probably one-shot most of these characters. Especially because you got a silver. Again, oh my god, 1 million a counter? Holy snap. So he's gonna get rid of the rest of his characters, being Margaret. Alright, you're gone. And then we took away your card. So now he has to use his card up again. And he's gonna take a counter that one-shots. And that's pretty much it. Albedo team just too strong. Alright, so this will be the team that you're going to be using on the final tower. It is going to be the Matrona Undead team. And a lot of people have been using this type of team for your arena towers for a while now. Again, this is what you want to rock, which is HP crit defense, another HP crit defense, and HP crit defense. Again, all these crit defense that you see in this video are going to be having crit defense rolls or crit resist roll. And Matrona has no gear. Now, I'm using the green Matrona. Again, you don't have to use the green one. You can just use the red one. I just like our passive. Like our passive seems really, really decent for me. But you might like the red Matrona even better in terms of healing. It all depends on you. This is going to be the artifact card set you're going to be rocking. Make sure you gotta max these out as always. So yeah, guys, hopefully you guys enjoy, and let's get into it. All right, so now we'll be using the I don't know what you call it, the Matrona undead team. And honestly, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, this would have been a four team or less run if I didn't misplay on the last one. You guys will find out pretty soon, but usually you want to try to push for Purgatory Meliodas ultimate, and then you want to ult while you have the buff up. Now again, usually you should one shot regardless, depending on your dupes. I don't think dupes really matter too much when it comes to Purgatory Meliodas on this team. I'm pretty sure he usually just nukes regardless, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it takes like 3 out of 6, stuff like that. Okay. But as you can see, you're using this team. Again, I like Green Matrona just because of the I forgot what it's called. Like, you decrease the damage dealt. That's pretty cool. Hey, that's a pretty cool effect. So that's why I like to use Green Matrona. She also has the passive where pretty much every time you lose the debuff, you gain like 20% of your max HP, which could be very helpful when you're dealing with Molaskala's debuff or other debuffs from the enemy, like a tier team like this guy has. Again, some people might like the red Matrona just because you might not end up getting as many debuffs as you should. Again, it's all dependent on you. Again, either Matrona works pretty well, but I know a lot of people don't have the green Matrona, so you're most likely gonna use the red one. And you can see I'm healing a lot. Again, the most I'm trying to do is either push for my ultimate or get rid of Nashi as soon as possible. Because again, you want to one-shot with Meliodas before he starts spamming AoEs or anything like that. You really want him to use his single targets so he doesn't target anybody else on your team, just so you'll be able to heal a lot faster. And you can see, like, I'm literally just healing up a lot. So we debuff everybody. Meliodas ultimate should one-shot. And again, this is going to be most of the time while playing. Now we do have this human team. Now the problem with the human team is that he usually just like he's gonna one-shot Molaskala. Now I don't know if it's because maybe I don't have the best of like a maxed out Molaskala, but usually he one-shots Molaskala. I did like I don't know why he always one-shots Molaskala, just because like I do have Molaskala using all of her cosmetics with crit defense, so she has like all her cosmetics with the crit defense on, but for some reason Molaskala always gets one shot. Now the one reason why I do like Matrona is because she doesn't really get targeted in this moment. Like that's because she's green, so most of the people will do is that they're gonna go for my other characters being Meliodas or Zeldris because they're blue and dark attribute. That's why you see they all, no matter how low my Matrona is, they're ignoring her because again she is a higher attribute. And so that's why I like her, because if I have the moment where pretty much again Molaskala gets one shot, they're gonna end up going after that Matrona. You get what I'm saying? Like they're gonna go after Matrona right then and there. So it just gives me an opportunity to heal up with Matrona. I feel like maybe next time I can probably not actually nah. I would say maybe next time I can rock like gear on Matrona and stuff like that. But it's okay. Like maybe you can rock like a full crit defense set on Matrona, or like halfway where she doesn't have that much HP or defense. Just to give you opportunity to pretty much heal or tank a lot more hits when you get into the later matches. Because this is where I face off against the Jelly King. Now the Jelly King team with 3 characters, it is rough. Again, sometimes it requires luck or RNG for your team. Because usually Purgatory Meliodas could solo these characters. Purgatory Meliodas should be able to solo this entire team. But for me, I ended up not being able to solo on this one. I did have a run where I did solo. I think it's because I didn't pull another AoE. So I probably shouldn't have been using all my Meliodas AoEs and stuff like that. just because it really stopped me from being able to solo this type of team. So again, like I said, Meliodas could solo the team. I think what happened is that I think Fest King ended up getting his ultimate. I think it's like either Fest King ended up like merging to his ultimate, so it's kind of like restricting me from like attacking a lot. Yeah, he got his ultimate right there, and I was a little bit worried that if I would have went for somebody else or AoE'd, I would have got rid of him. I would have got rid of somebody else on his team, and then he would have got his ultimate off on me, which I should have, in hindsight, AoE regardless, just because I end up losing because of the buff. Now, the reason why I say this was like supposed to have been a 4-team or less is because I low-key messed it up while using Valenti. Now, for Valenti, there's 2 of them, all right? One is the green one, which is made for crit resist, and the other one is this red one, which is made for crit defense. Tell me why I ended up messing up and giving this Valenti the crit resist set when she's made for just crit defense. So I ended up not getting none of my passive off, really, that I need to for whenever I'm taking the crits. So yeah, I'm able to defeat the first one, but on the next one, I ended up losing because again, I had the wrong set. Usually you're supposed to rock a crit defense set on Valenti, so when you get hit with crits, it is not as much, which would have been super helpful against the catastrophes because they do crit a lot, especially because they lowering you. So I ended up losing this entire team and messing up just because when I thought about it, I said, oh snap, I forgot to switch out my freaking gear. So I opted out to using the human team, which is again really good against catastrophe as well because it has so much HP. And again, like you have Arthur who really stops crit defense. And that's why I said like, yo, I messed up on the first one because I could have just easily just used the human team instead and probably been able to get through this whole thing with 4 teams or less. But it's fine. Sometimes it happens like that where you messed up. But again, you do also have the fallback with the I forgot there was the weekly thing they now added on where you can get 10 Hero Arena coins, and that can be used for getting an LR coin, like 1. So that's gonna be really nice. So even if I got like 5 teams or less, not really. It's technically I'm gonna get the same amount that I had for if I would have got in 4 teams or less. So yeah, I have 5 teams, but I got the same amount if I had 4 teams or less too. So we got rid of Brunhill. Now all we have is DN. And he took away the debuff that's on me. Cause like Vaughn is a snatch, so you can easily get rid of you. So now all there is DN, and that's pretty much GG. And that's gonna be the 3rd tower. Again, this tower isn't as hard as you think. Again, there are some moments where you have to like clean up a little bit on the final 2, but you should have enough teams to finish them off. Just don't be like me and misplay like that. But again, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe again, and hopefully you guys get lucky. This Marilli guys, I'm out. Peace.